This is The Catalyst Effect. I am your host, Isaac Carter, and we are here at the final day of Dallas Startup Week. And it's interesting, somebody asked me, hey, are you ready for Startup Week to wrap up? And I told them, you know what? I don't think it's actually going to be like that for us because we have met so many amazing people. We have meetings scheduled all day tomorrow. We have meetings on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to talk with innovators about helping them launch the product. And we're still meeting amazing people like Luke from the Innovation Fund in McKinney.
Yeah, no, thanks. This is great. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, yeah. We're happy to. Actually, we just moved to McKinney. We lived in Allen for a couple of years.
Okay.
And whenever I would look for like a great place to go for a business lunch or something like that, I'd end up at the Yard or down on the square or coffee shop at the cotton mill. And the vibe and the culture in McKinney, just if you go to Common Desk in McKinney, you see Joshua Expeditions, and I'm a part of the faith-based entrepreneurship group at Cottonwood Creek Church. And half of the people from there have an office at a Common Desk or Lucid. And all of this amazing energy and all this amazing innovation is happening in McKinney, Texas. And I used to say McKinney of all places, but you know what? It's not McKinney. It's not that. If you go and you meet the people in McKinney, of course, they're going to be a hub of innovation.
Sure.
Because that's who's there.
It wasn't long ago, McKinney was more cows than people.
Yeah.
And so now we're working through the efforts of our organization, the Economic Development Corporation in McKinney. We're working to make it known as, hey, we're not just this almost Oklahoma little city in North Texas. We're actually like a hub of innovation and AI and startups and technology. And we're seeing an influx of people that say, hey, I've tried the Austin thing. It was great. But I need to get spread out a little bid and get more up into North Texas and get somewhere else. And McKinney's become that destination for people.
Yeah. So when I lived in North Dallas, I would stop in McKinney on my way up to Texoma to go hunting. McKinney is not just a place to stop for coffee.
100%.
The airport's going to be opening for national flights soon.
Correct.
And if you go down to the square, you see all of these buildings that were used for other purposes, like the cotton mill and like the office that Common Desk is in now.
Yeah.
McKinney is happening. And there's a lot of support. There's several accelerators and incubators in McKinney. Now, tell us about the Innovation Fund.
Yeah, so in 2020, our organization, so we're the Economic Development Corporation in McKinney, which is funded by sales tax dollars. So you mentioned the Yard. If you were to go eat lunch at the Yard, the sales tax money from that lunch would go to our organization.
I heavily encourage you to go eat lunch at the Yard.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Amazing vibes, amazing food.
Oh, yeah.
Waffle fries are on point.
Yeah, I love the fish tacos.
Fish tacos, chicken tenders, it's all good. But your sales tax dollars from those fish tacos would fund our organization.
Nice.
And we have a sister organization, the Community Development Corporation, that funds parks, nonprofits, retail infrastructure. We fund job growth and job creation in McKinney. The idea being you should be able to live in McKinney and work in McKinney if you so choose, right? So that's our whole mantra as an organization, and we pursue traditional economic development agreements. But 5 years ago, we started a program and earmarked some of our budget to fund early stage startups. So Google started in a garage, Amazon started in a garage, Meta started in a dorm room. Why can't those garages be in McKinney, right?
Right.
So let's give grant funding to startups that are, maybe they just need money to lease a space, or maybe they need some marketing dollars. So we give non-dilutive capital to startups anywhere from $50,000 up to $200,000 to be headquartered in McKinney. We take no equity in the company.
Wow.
So it's just a grant program. There's some compliance. You have to check mark that you have X amount of employees and that you're going to be headquartered in McKinney for at least 3 years. And then you grow from there, and then there's more grant opportunities available to you at that point. But it's really been a unique program. We funded 47 companies so far, have received the grant. Actually, probably while I'm talking, we've got a couple more agreements in the works. So there's probably a few other things that are, by the time this comes out, it'll be a few more companies. And then I have some numbers here. I'll just kind of run through of what, where things are at so far. So far, all of our portfolio of Innovation Fund companies have raised $44 million, and they're valued at a collective $470 million. Just our portfolio companies over the past 5 years.
So who do you partner with, like North Texas Angels or any of those other groups?
Yeah, that's kind of the magic of this. Is when it started, we were giving out grant money, and then we realized entrepreneurs will get a check and go, Now what? Where are my people at, right? Like, who else can I talk to? Who else is here like me?
Yeah, you need a tribe.
You need a
tribe. You have to have a
community. You need a collective. And there's, like you mentioned, the faith-driven entrepreneur group, and there's a lot of great stuff kind of happening in North Texas overall.
I love those guys.
Yeah, I'm really connected to some of those guys, and
Sam Kuchia, he came to me and sat down and said, "Hey, Isaac, I'm worried about you. You're spending a lot of your time on things that don't bring results, and you're spending too much time on things that are outside of your mission. You need to cut back." And I needed
You
that.
need somebody
I was
saying that. Yeah.
tired, and my family missed me, and I was not making money. And so I was like, okay, yeah, I need to focus. And then I brought him back, kind of my plan. He's like, yeah, you're on target now.
Yeah.
I'm not paying him. He's a member of the community. He's out there. And we have to have that. Both people that we are paying, and I have hired an executive coach at that point, somebody that's in the community. But startups, a lot of times they think I'm the visionary founder. I am on my own. I'm all alone. And that is a very dangerous and lonely place.
Exactly.
It's unnecessary too.
Yeah. And we realized that founders need more than just a check. They need that community. So we started doing events. We started building connections. Troy Belay has come on our team as the project manager that oversees the innovation fund. I'm our marketing guy. So I could talk marketing and communicate the message of what we're doing all day, but Troy's the one kind of making everything happen. He's really done a fantastic job of building up that ecosystem of connecting with other venture studios that maybe we're not a right fit, but here's some guys that are, or, you know, and then the other networking groups. We host events once a quarter that's just founders and funders in the same room, everybody gathering together for networking. We've got one coming up the end of this month.
Make sure I get invited to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you follow our LinkedIn, the McKinney Economic Development Corporation, we always post that. We're on Luma. So easy ways for entrepreneurs, founders, and funders and community partners. Maybe there's a banker who loves what he does, but also loves the innovation community. He needs to be connected. He gets energized and sharpened by being around these guys. So we really have created, or are working to create, a broader ecosystem beyond just cutting checks to startups.
So I was at a conference in Cancun, Mexico, the community conference with JC Height from Height Digital. And he got up, and Vince, one of the speakers there, said, okay, you have 5 years in a cycle. 3 cycles are a season. So when you say that somebody is seasoned, it means that they've been through several cycles, and they can normally look at something and say, I've seen this before. So if you talk to like Itchan or Jeff from North Texas Angels.
Yeah, I love both those guys. Yeah.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
But also they've seen things before.
Yeah.
They know. They can look at something. For example, one of the other angel fund guys, he said, hey, 3 times a week I hear somebody pitching a speech-to-text product for medical. And he's like, 3 times, 4 times a week for the last 5 years. The same one came through. And these other guys are like, yeah, I get this a couple times a week too. And so one of the things that I'm pretty passionate about is making sure the money gets to the right people, not just people with a good pitch deck, but people that are. There was somebody in here earlier. He's like, yeah, I'm getting ready to go to Y Combinator and I'm applying for grants. And I asked him about his product and he's got nothing.
Interesting.
He's like, oh, I've got AI involved in this. And I'm like, what's the AI doing?
Yeah.
And he said, oh, just trying to see what's running in the background. I'm like, yeah, okay, so you're using AI instead of developing a database and building a list of. Bad idea. I think he's likely to get funded. He's a young, enthusiastic guy that is absolutely 100% going to fail unless he pivots hard and fast. And so I see I've had people from Code Launch come up with, yeah, we got funding. I'm like, who the hell gave you money? Like, I've seen your idea. I know who you are. I know what your go-to-market strategy is. You should not have gotten money. That money should have gone to somebody that's not going to fail as hard as you are. Sure enough, a couple years later, there's nothing there. And so how do you guys kind of cut through the noise? Because I'm sure you get a lot of noise.
Yeah, it used to be, when it first started, it was anybody with just an idea and a pitch deck, and they would apply. And we had given some early stage grants to those very initial, just an idea kind of a thing. But now we've whittled it down. And actually, even in the initial phase, it was you had to at least have an MVP. And we've had people apply still that basically all they have is a pitch deck and a prayer, right? There's nothing. And those will get rejected pretty quickly. But we mainly now focus on, you have to have an MVP. And then we're also looking at, do you have a board of directors? Have you been through an accelerator? Because one thing we're noticing is that it's more important to have character than it is to have charisma.
Yes.
So, okay, you can be charismatic and you can give an excellent presentation and your pitch deck looked like it was designed by Johnny Ive, right? But can you make the long haul? Are you in this for the long haul? What's the founder's anchor here, right? great idea, but the founder is going to be the driver here. Can we trust you? Right.
I've had guys come through that were charismatic and like hit the stage at venturetainment. And that's one of my problems with venturetainment is they're looking for people that are able to put on a good show.
Yeah.
They're
Well, it's in the name, right?
Yeah, very, very much. And I love Jason Taylor. I love the guys at Code Launch are doing amazing things. But some of the folks that are quiet and convicted and have a high amount of just moral fiber, they're not going to be able to capture stage presence.
Right.
And
but they're going to build
fine.
it a great product, and they're going to make it the long haul. They're going to be good with their money.
Yep.
They're checking a lot of good boxes.
And I've had other guys that are out there, and they're really, and then they come and they make a commitment to me, and then I have to take them to court because they're not paying their bill, and they're keeping their promises.
Yeah.
So now we still love doing the hackathons.
Sure.
So I'd love to see if there's something we could do where you have some folks that don't have the MVP yet. I kicked out an MVP, a full coded, semi-usable product MVP in a day and a half with one of my guys the other day. We kicked out 20 of them last year.
Yeah.
So I think we could come up with something where some good ones come to us. We hit them the MVP as a part of an initiative. And
especially local McKinney guys. We love partnering with that versus an offshore team, right? So or nearshore even. So having somebody in our backyard that goes, hey, I love this ecosystem. I'm going to support it. And that's one thing that Troy, I'll mention again, has done a really good job of is building this community of partners to say, hey, got your application. You're not quite ready yet, but go talk to Isaac, go talk to this guy, go talk to this guy, and then come back in 6 months.
Yeah. And actually, Alex and I have a signal. It's like, I want to hear more. Or, hey, make sure this guy gets away from my table.
Nice.
This stinks.
I haven't seen either of these from you yet, so I'm good. So
yeah. So Alex, we're gonna keep, but no, there's just something about experience, being seasoned,
correct,
where they know, hey, you know what, this guy just needs a kick in the pants and some wind in the sails, and he's going to take off. Or get this guy away from me. We do not need McKinney taxpayer dollars going to this. Let's shuffle it over here.
And we do a lot of due diligence. We do a lot of vetting. We have a subcommittee. So our organization is run by a board of directors that's appointed by city council. So we're all very much underneath the City of McKinney umbrella. But our board of directors has a subcommittee that all they do is rubber stamp innovation fund projects, right? So our team will do the due diligence, and then there's that other layer of approval that our board of seasoned professionals has to thumbs up.
Walk the square in McKinney, and you know you guys are doing something right, because there's a lot of innovation happening there that some is organic, but a lot of it you can tell is strategic, and I think that's maybe grassroots, but still strategic. Yeah,
and it's such a diverse area. If you go down to the square, you see Book.io, which is in our portfolio companies. They're doing stuff with blockchain.
Oh, yeah.
It got an investment from Mark Cuban. They're on a corner building in the square. You go right across the corner, and there's an ice cream shop that puts booze in their ice cream. Cocktail cream. So, you have these startups that are crushing it and getting major investments, and they've got these little mom and pop ice cream shops in the same 250 square feet
still crushing it
space. Yeah, so it's just crazy how that kind of thing is created. And then also beyond downtown, these Class A office spaces, like you mentioned, Lucid.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's 12 different co-working spaces in McKinney that are just absolutely top tier places.
Oh, yeah, and the
vibe
is hot there.
Yeah, so there's all these little pockets all over. The square is a great example of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, the Innovation Fund, another one of the amazing conversations we've have had here at Dallas Startup Week. We're going to definitely be in touch. I want to be involved in what y'all are doing. Yeah,
uniquemckinney.com is where you can find everything on the Innovation Fund and everything else. So, man, thanks so much for having me connect to this.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for joining us. We'll have to tell Trey what you did while we're.
Oh, yeah. Hey, a marketing job. So I'm the marketing guy. So it's my job to market the heck out of this thing.
That's great. Hey, if today is the last day of Dallas Startup Week, I really encourage you to come down here. If you're not able to make it out here this week, the Debt Council has events all through the year. I know in the fall they always do their State of Entrepreneurship event. I went last year. It was amazing. Follow the the Debt Council. They are building a ecosystem and a community that empowers entrepreneurship, and like we were both saying, we need that. You can't do this alone.
Yep, 100%.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, Isaac.
Right.